they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go.
Hello, friends. We are live, and I have a guest, potentially another one coming, but for now, it's just Wallace, which is perfectly acceptable.
Well, thank you for that glowing review. I love to be perfectly acceptable. And if there's one thing I'm going to be, it's on time. So shout out to Katie and Devasia.
That's very fair. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Wallissimo. Well, I'm Wallace, but I run the channel Wallissimo occasionally, sporadically. And I have my debut novel is coming out this fall, A Dark and Secret Magic. It's being published with Alcove Press. It comes out on October 8th of 2024. If you're into Halloween, my elevator pitch is that it's basically a Hallmark movie, but for Halloween instead of Christmas. So
you should have a wrench, so if you've got a link you want to throw in the chat, you can do that. If you don't have a wrench, let me know, because I'm pretty sure you do. But
let me see. Hold on. Dark and Secret Magic. Penguin Random House.
I'm so bad at remembering to put links in the descriptions of streams.
It's all good. Here we go. Let's put it. Where are we now? Here we go. Did it go? I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wallace's book. Go look into it.
You can pre-order it now, and also there is currently a Goodreads giveaway happening over on Goodreads, obviously, because it's a Goodreads giveaway. God, I hate marketing myself. Anyway, they're giving away 5 copies of the book. So and my dishwasher just finished. So sorry for the high pitched.
All good. I am Mars. You're on my channel. This is for May Chaos Reign, which is an event hosted by myself, also Marta, and our 2 other friends, Violet and Crystal. If you go to my channel, there's a VOD of a stream announcement that we did for all the rundown. I won't get into that here. It's a lot of fun. Should come hang out. Also, hello, Marta is here. Love how this stream is all troublemakers except Stieg, and my stream so far is just Stieg. Well, so far I have just Wallace.
Yeah.
Devasia had to cancel, and Katie is going to be here at some point.
She's running late. But yeah, maybe Katie shouldn't come, and then Devasia goes to Crystal and Katie goes to Violet, and then it's just make Chaos Reign troublemaker full crossover,
That would work, yeah. We all have had an interesting time trying to recruit co-hosts, because we're all like, we have all these streams and we're going to do things with so many friends, and then we're like, we have to ask people to co-host. Oh my god.
That is true. You do. But there are lots of people who I know would love to be co-hosts with you, so you should definitely ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had all of your Instagram and YouTube in the description. I'm like, these are the easiest links to find. This is what's going there. We have Jessica, hello. And we have Minogue, hello, welcome. Feel free in the chat to let us know what you're going to be doing during these sprints. I do have 3 planned, and we also have questions that I'm going to ask during the sprints, so be prepared for that.
Also, more self-promotion, but also involving you. Do you have the Blank Page Tavern listed below in the description? Because we are 2 pieces of the 5-piece creature that is the Blank Page Tavern. So
I don't think I have it linked.
That's okay. There is a YouTube channel that Mars and I kind of co-founded called the Blank Page Tavern, where a bunch of author tubers play D&D, and we are currently scheduled to play this Monday. It's going to be our 4th session. All previous sessions are recorded and on that channel. You can go back and watch them. They're a fun time. It's very low-key, very chill. I'm the DM. Mars plays a druid named Micah. And the next session is going to open up with potentially a battle against several velociraptors. So
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
it's going to be a good time.
Who are these people? Please tell me I'm desperate.
Why don't you just go into the Discord, Marta, and just be like, hey, anybody want to stream?
I think me and Crystal both did that, and Crystal got Laura, and then Laura also responded to me and said, I'm busy that day. I'm like, great.
That's fair.
Hello, Anna.
Hello.
We're just going to spend the first adult season, but hopefully working on a video after.
Oh, I think your mic might have shifted or something like that. Or maybe it's me, Jesus.
Hello?
You're a little underwater, but I think it's okay. It might just... Okay, 1 second. Well, anyway, everybody, super excited to be here on Mars's channel. How is May Chaos Reign going for everybody right now before we dive into the first sprint? Would love to know. What is everybody's, like, what are they doing for the week? So, I'm taking myself out on a date is the prompt that I'm following this week.
Is it better now?
Yes, so much better. It's
okay. I unplugged the connection and plugged it back in.
Sometimes that's all you have to do, truly. Yeah, my dishwasher's done. And it's really insistent that it's done.
Minuk says, I'll be writing during sunset to get fairy lights as decorations during the house. That sounds very fun.
That does sound very fun.
You said that this week you're going to be doing the take yourself on a date prompt?
Yes, I am. Which I forget what that actually gets me. It's the self-care, but what is it? What does that do?
We consult the prompts. That might be the hedge maze?
That's fair.
Locations. No, it's the sunflower field.
Oh, good. I like that so much better than hedge maze.
We went through a lot of iterations of like pairing the actual like titles with the prompt, so I don't remember what most of them are.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, I'm taking myself out on a date. Well, I was going to do it tomorrow evening, but as I told you backstage, now my dinner plans have totally shifted so I don't know, does a date at home count as a date? Like if I set my table really nicely, can that outside, like as the sun is setting, does that count as like a date for myself?
Yeah.
Cook myself a nice dinner?
I think that would count because you're still doing something a little out of the ordinary, treating yourself nicely.
Yeah.
Marta says, I haven't started MCR yet because I was ill last weekend. Yes, again. But hoping to do some writing in nature and during sunrise/sunset this weekend.
What does writing during sunset count as? Because your girlie did that last night. Is that another location or is that the decorations?
That's decorations.
Okay.
That's for the fairy lights.
Oh my god, in a sunflower field with fairy lights? What do the fairy lights go on? Did I bring posts to the sunflower field?
It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay.
We can only supply so much.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I have some brain rot that is really taking over my head, which is unfortunate because I mentioned this yesterday on the Troublemaker stream, but I did get my copy edits in this week. So I do need to be focusing on those. But yesterday we did spend a good chunk of time last night working in brain rot as the sun set, and I was up on the rooftop patio of my apartment complex, and it was stunningly gorgeous.
That sounds so lovely. I've also been in brain rot land, but we're not going to talk about it because I'm always in brain rot land.
Wait, please, can we talk about brain rot land? Because I'm so rarely in brain rot land. I am just so excited to have brain rot, and I want to hear about people's brain rot.
So my brain rot is another Dark Academia project because editing, I was kind of like out of the Dark Academia a little bit for a while there, but now that I'm back into editing Project Jenny and I'm going to be editing my other Dark Academia Exco afterwards, I'm like, maybe I do still love Dark Academia.
Yeah.
And it's a retelling of a piece of classic literature.
Which one?
It's Shakespeare. I'll give you that much, but I won't be any more
tragedy or comedy, or neither. Not.
It's a comedy,
but it's a Dark Academia retelling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one of his more famous comedies, or is it like one of the obscure ones?
Oh, it's famous.
Much Ado About Nothing.
No.
Midsummer's.
I'm not gonna keep answering you. You can't just keep asking each one.
Why not?
Like-
Why not? Okay, fine. I will keep your secrets, as Frodo says.
For
I
now,
will
I'll keep my
say-
secrets.
I'm gonna say that my brain rot was inspired by a very specific song on the new Taylor Swift album, and I have not been able to move beyond it. It's just kind of one of those things where the words are just happening, and so I just have to open up Scrivener and let it happen.
Yeah, I completely understand. Manuk says that's totally a date. I'd go on that date.
Excellent.
I'm going to try and work a bit more on my piece, which I started at sunset on day one. It's just taking longer than I thought.
Right.
They obviously fly around you powered by fairy magic.
Oh, like actual fairy lights. I didn't even think about that. I thought it was like fairy lights, but that is even more romantic. Like fairies in a sunflower field. Heck yeah. My party is already off to a great start.
Yeah, so far I have greenhouse with garden gnomes.
Okay.
And I also did the food prompt, which hasn't been released yet, but because I'm the host, I already know what it is. And so I've done the food prompt.
Can't tease us like this.
You gotta wait for Sunday.
Okay. But what if I accidentally do a prompt, but I don't know that I'm doing a prompt?
I think you can retroactively count things within reason.
But then that's not as fun because, granted, like I just did that with the fact that I wrote at sunset last night. But like, I was like, I'm going to take myself out on a date this week because that's part of Make Chaos Reign. It's no fun to be like, oh, well, I did all this stuff last week, so I guess it counts. I mean, it is still fun. Don't get me wrong, but
you can plan for the prompts as they release, but if you find that you're running out of time or if you can't swing things, then you can retroactively count things. We'll go with that.
Okay, I appreciate that.
We're going to be easy on ourselves this month.
Okay. Also, I'm going to be quiet because Min is like, chop, chop.
I just want to say hello to Kagehime. Welcome.
Oh, how to pronounce their name? We were calling them Caged all day yesterday.
I would assume that because Kage is Japanese for shadow and Hime is Japanese for princess. So that's what I kind of just assumed it was.
Hello, Shadow Princess. I love that. Kagehime. All right. Good to know.
One more comment from Marta, then we'll get to the sprint menu. Marta says, I hadn't thought about fairy lights being literal fairies. I was envisioning fairies using their magic to levitate electric fairy lights. Your version makes more sense. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
It's your party. Imagine it however you would like.
I love the idea of just like thousands of fairies and making like slightly chiming, twinkling noises as they flit around. Wouldn't even need to have music. Is music a prompt? Is music one of the prompts?
There is an entertainment category.
Okay.
And now, since sunset is starting for Manuk, we will pull up the first sprint. So I, of course, have the garden timer. I did cut it down a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to do a 25.
Okay. Are we also still getting the first question?
Yes.
Okay.
I will pull up. The first question is just, how has MCR/May in general been treating you? So feel free to think that over while the sprint is running, and we will talk about the answers afterwards.
All right. Fantastic.
And that was the end of the first sprint. We have a Katie and a Devesha. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Going good. I literally ran to get here. I was like, I gotta get upstairs. But we're here, so we're fine.
I'm glad y'all could
going
join.
good. Going good for me too. My dad's flight got delayed, which I'm like, karma. Putting this on me last minute. But then I stopped to pick my sister up from work, so sorry for being a little bit late.
You're fine. Everything's fine. How was that sprint for you guys? And also, if you want to answer our question of how has May Chaos Reign / May in general been treating you?
The sprint went well for me. I am, like I said, I'm doing a deep clean of my kitchen. So I unloaded my dishwasher and I poured baking soda and vinegar down my drain, and I'm currently boiling a huge pot of water to pour down after to clean the drain. And the next thing I have to do is figure out how to clean the filter in my dishwasher, and I don't know how to do that, so I'm a little nervous and scared.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either.
Pinterest will tell me.
It's something someone on the internet knows.
Mm-hmm.
That sprint was good for me. I just did a couple of like admin-y things, started to get together my Instagram posts because I'm a little bit behind on making my Instagram posts. And yeah, realized I did one of the Make Chaos Reign prompts because I went to go look at my little tracker, which is one of the prompts was to make a tracker. So I was like, perfect. Because I have a spooky party and it's haunted hedge maze, and I was like, amazing. I love that. But yeah, May's been good. Just been vibing for the last 9 days. Just having a good time, not having any responsibilities on my plate at the moment.
Nice.
That's always good. Let's see. I came in like a minute and 50 seconds before the end of the sprint, so I managed to pick a book for the floral prompt. I chose The Wife Upstairs because someone told me that plants don't count as floral patterns, so I couldn't use Delicious Monster. And I'm like, okay, Steve, whatever. So I picked a different book.
Fair enough.
And Mason treated me okay.
All right. I was reading during that sprint. I'm currently reading The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. And I'm 150-ish pages in. I don't know. I'm almost at the end of part 1. And it's weird. It's not quite what I expected, but I'm enjoying it, I think.
It gets weirder, so just wait for that.
I don't know if you can see on the thing behind my chair. I'm reading all 3 of the books in a row, is my goal. So hopefully I end up really enjoying them, but they are quite strange.
Yeah, they're very
I've never read them.
weird. I've read them a couple times. I read them once for Nostalgia Train book club, again, and it was just as weird as an adult as it was when I was a kid.
Fair enough. I have never read them. I've never seen the movie or the miniseries, none of it. The only experience I have with these books is 2 girls that I knew in middle school were like uber obsessed with them, and it was like all they ever talked about. They like made their own OCs and everything. So like that's where my knowledge of the series comes from.
That's dedication. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I have now discovered that you are supposed to clean your dishwasher filter once a month.
No, that's fake. That's made by big dish companies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never cleaned my dishwasher once.
Yeah.
Maybe your mom has cleaned your dishwasher.
Oh, no, she has not. She absolutely has not. I would have known because she would have told me about it.
We're all out there eating on dirty dishes and for years and years, and we just don't know.
Listen, it hasn't killed us yet.
That's true.
Precisely.
Right.
I'm trying to get, I have this fear that I'm nose blind to like an odor in my apartment. And so I'm trying to do this deep clean with the hope that like I just get rid of any strange thing that could be creating a scent. And it's not that I smell anything. I'm just paranoid that there is something. And so, we're just going to we're going to cover all our bases. We're covering all our bases. And we are going to clean the dishwasher on the next sprint.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's return to the comments. Kagehime says, I didn't mind Cage. It sounds kind of edgy.
But Shadow Princess is so much edgier. Hello.
Yes, before Katie and Devesha joined us, I mean, at least I assumed that this was pronounced Kagehime, which is Japanese for Shadow Princess.
Oh, that's
Oh.
baller. I like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, it's like a really nice Kagehime. That has a great mouthfeel.
It does have.
So that was our learning moment of the day. I guess our second one was learning that you're supposed to clean out your dishwasher.
Once a month at that. That seems excessive.
I know. Well, it says that a lot of dishwashers have self-cleaning filters, but then you still need to clean it every 3 months. So 4 times a year, folks. 4 times a year. Do you want us to answer this question now, Mars?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
May has been going so well. The weather is teasing getting warmer in Colorado. We're not getting snows anymore, but it's still really chilly in the mornings and sweater weather in the afternoons. But, there's the hint that warm weather is to come, which is exciting. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing my deep clean, is so that way once spring/summer is fully here, I can have all my windows open and everything. People can stare into my apartment and it's not embarrassingly messy. And my 30th birthday is next week, so that's also exciting. Another reason to do a deep clean, right? We get the big, nice refresh. But May Chaos Reign is great. I have, as I said at the beginning, I did the sunflower fields by, I have not done it yet. I'm going to take myself out on a date. And then I also wrote yesterday in my brain rot at sunset. So fairy lights are my decoration. So it's been fun. I love the romanticy of it. No, the romanticization of it. Also romanticy. So it's been great. It's been great.
You're going to be 30, flirty, and thriving with your clean dishwasher.
Not flirty. There's one thing that I am not, and it's flirty. We're not flirty over here.
I feel like maybe you should be, but okay.
No, it is not a necessary element to my life and my existence.
I mean, you do want to get married.
But
Like step one.
no, I want children, and that's different. Like marriage,
That's fair.
children, are in my future for my plan for myself. Marriage is a potential, but it is not like a definitive necessity. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And children are a necessity for you? Interesting.
I really want kids. Yeah.
That's fair.
I would rather eat sand than be pregnant.
Thank you for yucking my yum. I really appreciate it.
That sounds like that's such a specific thing to say. It feels like you've thought about that. Like, what are the things that I rank on either side of this?
Also, I think that there is a definitive difference between being pregnant and like having children. Like, I am not looking forward to pregnancy. I know that I'm going to have really extreme morning sickness because my mom did, and I am prone to nausea. But I still really, I want to have kids. I want to raise someone and, see how they go. Yeah.
Little Mo.
Almost.
I love you now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't.
All right, let's see what the comments have to say. Anna, for the question, says, I've been traveling for work, so I have no idea what day, time, or month it is anymore. For me, May starts tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Entirely valid.
Yeah.
On a Friday. How interesting.
And we have Elena here. Hello. Haven't started MCR yet since I just got back from Japan this week, and the jet lag has been jet lagging. Japan sounds very fun.
I would love to go.
Did you post about it in the Discord, in the travel section in the Discord, Elena? Are you part of our Discord?
If not, you should.
I think Elena is.
I think you are. But, we could use some Japan entries in the travel section. Some Japan travel guides, some Lonely Planets, if you will. Just go and insert those offerings onto the shelf, please. Thank you.
Jessica says, it's been going well since the first 2 prompts together currently put the doc at 3,793 words. Good job. That's so
Right.
many. And we had Eva join us. Hello. Don't think my reading prompt prepared me, but also should have saw it coming. I haven't started MCR, but I want to. Will? I don't know. Chaos is here, though.
We're
That's
just along for the ride.
And Marta got excited when we had our friends Katie and Devasia join us.
I
So
was
now we
not
have-
enough for Marta. And she made that very clear. She was not happy when it was just me. That's fine.
You are more than enough for me, Wallace.
Oh, Devasia, you always say the most romantic things to me.
The sun was not completely set for Manuk, but gonna count it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? It works.
Sunset is a state of mind. You know, sunset is an experience.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe. It is any.
that.
I really think that any writing at golden hour counts. You know.
Yeah,
Agreed.
as an official host of this
Mhm.
event, I will second that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
It is law.
Motion passed.
Meeting adjourned.
Now Jessica's up to 3,901 words total for the doc. You are killing it.
You are killing it.
Marta semi-sorted
Oh dear.
my adult stuff, i.e. found the right phone number and realized they are closed until tomorrow, and then went back to working on my thumbnail. Kagehime got 144 words. Also, Marta says, in response to the question, started off being ill, so not great, but feeling much better now. Can't wait to start properly this weekend.
Mm.
Marta's just ill all the time.
I'm glad that you're feeling better. I'm glad you haven't developed like tuberculosis because the coughing at the announcement really concerned me.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to react to the sudden mention of tuberculosis. That kind of just hit me out of left field.
Is that not a thing that gets mentioned? I'm sorry. I follow John Green, so tuberculosis is part of my daily existence.
That's fair. He does
Wait,
talk
wait,
about
hold on.
tuberculosis a lot.
Happy belated birthday, Marta.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Marta's birthday was this past Sunday.
yeah. Yes. Happy
I
birthday.
had to look at my calendar to make sure it was last Sunday, not this Sunday. So sorry, but happy birthday.
Yeah, I messaged her on Instagram, and then Instagram let me know 12 hours later that the message never went through. And I'm like, well, thanks, I guess.
Oh my god.
That's the worst.
Jessica made a tracker, but I prioritized a new thing since I made the tracker before it started. Yeah, that's fair. I don't remember what the LOL was for, because this comment is 10 minutes old.
Oops.
No idea why YouTube decided to post an empty comment after my comment. Didn't see it on StreamYard,
No,
so...
get over here, so you're good.
Mm-mm. Don't know where it is.
Oh, Eva learned today that dishwashers have filters.
We're all just learning stuff today, you guys.
Only cleaned our dishwasher when we moved in, because I don't trust the last tenants. That's very fair.
Mm-hmm.
Scared of my dishwasher filter now, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared to gag.
We also have only been here 2 months, so maybe we should do that again. Oh, my computer's making sounds. Don't do that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It was the Windows diddaloo sound, and I'm like,
Ooh.
okay.
Ooh.
Thanks for appreciating my name. Spent way too much time coming up with it. It's a good one.
It is. Shadow Princess.
Your Majesty.
Yes.
Mhm.
She is royalty. I know, I'm very excited. My father always said his 40s were his best. I'm assuming we're on the upswing, in general. The 20s won't be hard to beat. Gonna be real honest.
Yeah.
Marta has a good question. Do the children have to be human?
I do want pets, but if I had to choose between a pet and a human child, I would choose a human child.
Oh. Wow.
I think you're in the minority there, but we respect your opinion.
It is so interesting, this cultural shift that has happened, because literally it is our inherent genetic, it's should be genetically wired in all of us to desire children. So I think it is interesting that in our culture we have from a majority perspective, in the cultural zeitgeist right now, there's a really rejection of that, which I find very fascinating.
I just love dogs so much.
I love dogs too, but I love children. Like if this is going to be so dark, but I've always said, this is how I know that I am not vegan, because vegans truly believe that, like, you know, animals are not ours to utilize and that they should be left alone, et cetera, and that we should not value human life more than animal life. I apologize to any vegans out there and if I'm butchering your philosophy, but that's what I've been told. And I was like, well, if you put a cow in front of me and a human child and tell me one of them has to die, I'm always going to pick the cow. If you put 10,000 cows in front of me and a human child and tell me one of those groups is going to have to die, I'm always going to pick the cows. And that's how I am with dogs. Like, even though dogs are literally my favorite creatures on this entire planet, if you put a dog in front of me and a human child and you told me one of them has to die, I will always pick the dog to die. So I just value humans more than I value animals, which is why I know I'm not vegan.
Well, that's fair. I get that. Kagehime agreed with you on something.
I believe about wanting children, but I don't know for sure.
I mean, while pregnant, you might crave sand. I think my aunt's wife had a baby a couple of months ago, and she said that she was craving dirt while pregnant, and apparently that means you don't have enough salt in your system.
Oh, that's like that. What's that strange addiction show? There was a woman on there who had like a disease like that, where she wanted to eat drywall. Like she like craved drywall, and she literally ate drywall. Like she was eating her drywall, and it's like a disease. Like sometimes dogs have it too. Like they'll eat Pika. That's what it was. But it was a human woman who had it, who was literally eating the drywall in her house. It was freaky. Anyway, she wasn't pregnant. I think she just had that, problem.
I think my friend has that, because sometimes she'll be like,
she wants to eat drywall?
No. She's like, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like rocks be looking real tasty, and I'm like,
it's because they used to make chocolate that looked like rocks when we were kids. They were the capital they were out there confusing us. I'm just gonna say that.
I did feel that way about gold coins, because the gold coin chocolates. I saw a coin and I was like, oh, I bet that would taste good. And then I put one in my mouth and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I was also like, 7. So realized really quickly that they don't taste like chocolate.
Eva says, I loved my second pregnancy. First was unplanned, less exciting. Parenthood is wild, but little Mose will be adorable. And then the important question, does Wallissimo in plural add an E or no?
I don't think it does. I think it's just Mose, M-O-S, Moz.
Yeah.
Little Mose. Yeah.
That's fair. Wouldn't mind being pregnant just once, just to complain about it for the rest of my life.
We love a reason to complain, truly.
It's true.
Wallace, you are always enough. I'm just amused by my earlier Steed comment and sad when it turned out to be a lie.
That's fair. But now it's a truth. So there you go.
Oh my god, the little scroll bar on the comments keeps moving further up. We are so behind.
You're doing okay.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
fabulously.
Also, can I say I'm obsessed with the little lamb in your background? For context, Marta loves lambs and sheep.
They're so cute.
Very soft.
Adorable.
Belated birthday. Hello, Keiko. Welcome. It was an ill all day. I was ill all day. It was a great day. I'm doing my best.
You're doing great.
Better than I would ever do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't live stream anymore.
Except every Wednesday, but okay.
Wallace is single-handedly keeping our species alive.
I only plan on having like 2 children, so I don't know about single-handedly, but
That's
Doing
great.
your part.
What was that, Katie?
I said she's doing her part.
My sister is insane. She wants to have like 7 or 8 kids.
yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No, that was legitimately if I could. Like I've and this is me understanding I've never been pregnant with multiples, but like if I could have just 2 sets of triplets, just be pregnant twice but end up with 6 kids, absolute slay, I would do it. If like in the context of the babies would be healthy and everything like that, even though triplets are extremely high risk pregnancy, because I do want lots of children, but I also recognize at my age it's just not a real reality. So I have to kind of come to terms with the fact that it's going to be a 2, 3 if I'm lucky kind of situation.
Well, if you go like the artificial insemination route, multiple births are much more likely.
That is true. That is
say that.
true.
For a human child, too. Children are expensive. I have a dog and children. One does not exclude the other. Very valid point.
That is true. In fact, there are many studies that say having both is beneficial to the child. So
Dogs are too, but children get more and more expensive and start really expensive. A lot of the wives of the people I work with are stay-at-home moms who quit their mums who quit their careers or put their careers on hold. It's not exactly great advertisement on the children department.
oh, hot take. You know what? I was about to say this isn't very feminist of me, but it is very feminist of me because it's my choice, which is all what feminism is about. I would rather have kids than a career.
Fair. I know several people who feel the same way.
Yeah.
I would love to be a stay-at-home wife with no kids.
That's what I'm in the same boat.
I like my career.
And that's fine. And that is feminism, is that we can all coexist and respect each other's choices.
We did it, guys. We have feminism.
Yay!
We've won.
Eva's a stay-at-home mom, but I was a stay-at-home wife before that. Just a princess in general. Lots of things like that during pregnancy. Dirt is common, but I was also warned about plastic and drinking non-edible things.
Whoa. Like soap, like dish soap. I feel like that would happen to me.
Bleach.
Sometimes that's what I was thinking. I was thinking bleach. I was like, oh no. But sometimes, they would really have to keep the soap that looks like food away from me because that stuff looks so delicious. And I know it's bad for me. I know it's not edible. But why is that popcorn look so fucking good? But it's soap. Or cake or cupcake. Like, I just want to. Anyway.
I think it's completely fine if that's what you want to do. I just think I'd go slightly mad. I also don't particularly like children.
That's a big part of it. I love kids. So
I like kids in moderation. Like, if I go to a family event, I love hanging out with my little cousins. But, like, if I have to be around a child 24/7, I could not do it.
Yeah.
I like kids in certain age ranges. Like when they're babies, I can deal with the, like, crying and eating and shitting and that. But when they start to, like, develop identities and talk back, that 6 to 9 age, I'm like, okay.
Oh, no,
I will not have to drop kick you.
No, see, that is what I love, because for me, that is the age range at which you can, like, start having real conversations with them. That I think the age range I'm really going to struggle with and have to, like, watch myself so I don't actually harm their development is when it's a toddler and they literally have not developed the skills for, like, logic or reason or understanding, and it's just me all the time. And I'm really going to struggle with that, like with tantrums and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, why are we freaking out? Why are we having this reaction? Like, I see those TikToks where it's like, you want to know the reason my toddler threw a 3-hour tantrum was because he wanted carrots, and then I gave him carrots, but then he didn't want carrots. And like, I don't know how to operate in a situation like that.
I think the hack is to throw a tantrum back.
Is that raising a healthy, like, communication style? I don't know. I don't know.
It's a choice. Marta misses Katie streams, as I'm sure most of us do.
I'm trying to think of a time when I'll return to doing streams. I gotta start putting up videos on a regular basis first.
You were doing really good for a while there.
Is one going up today?
No, I'm changing my upload day to Sunday.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that.
So you'll see a video on Sunday.
Okay. Katie, what you should do is you should operate as if your upload date is still Thursday, so you get everything edited and ready to go by Thursday, but then just schedule it for Sunday, but still have Thursdays be your deadline for yourself, you know?
Yeah. No, I love your suggestion. I know. And I know that intellectually. It's just really sometimes hard to get myself to edit right now. It's fine.
We were so close to the end of the comments. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We'll get to another sprint eventually. Apparently the replacement rate is 2.1 children per woman. So you still fail.
Okay. Well, thank you.
It's fine. My sister's
Shadow
gonna
Princess bringing the shadows. Yeah, your sister evens it out for a good chunk of us.
Yeah, although she's kind of just making up for the fact that none of the rest of the siblings want kids because there's 4 of us and she's the only one who wants kids.
Hmm.
Mm.
Eva had her second at age 37.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had me at 37. Well, she had just turned 37.
My mom was 31 when I was born, but I'm also like the young ones. Oh, well, Katie, your brother's the same age as my sister, I think. I feel like I remember that.
He's 34, so she's
Yeah.
34. There we go.
I don't know why that tidbit stuck in my brain.
My mom was
It's just
39.
My mom was 21.
Feminism.
I don't have to.
Manuk says, I have a great career and kids and a dog, and I married rich. So clearly Manuk is winning.
Great job.
Yeah, Manuk is really doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually warned about gasoline.
Mm.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. They'll smell good.
I love kids, but not their adults most times. The AT community does have pro kids and or parents, but they are rare. Glad to see some love.
I don't know what that means.
Author tube?
Oh.
That makes sense, yeah. My son was reading full-on books at age 3.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Not to toot my own horn, the first book that I ever read in full was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh my god. That's a big dude.
Me from like first grade, just sitting there reading that, and I'm like, who
Wow.
gave me this book as a child?
Wow.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I have one trait, and it's that I read.
Are you right? Hello.
That's true. Don't like kids, but they're not small forever. I like teenagers.
Mm.
Fair enough. So much baby talk. Oh my goodness. Marta changed the upload day to Saturday. Is there an analytic reason for the switch to Sunday? Never sure what day to post, so I'm random.
No, I feel like I gotta kickstart myself somehow, and
Mm.
redoing it on a different day will hopefully maybe feel like YouTube's new again, because it's coming on 4 years that I've been doing this. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to Thursday. Who knows?
That's fair. My day is only Friday because that was the day I uploaded my first video, so I'm like, well, I have to stick with this.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I feel too with Thursday. I'm like, if I don't post, I like post my bonus videos on Sunday, so I'm like, okay, it's okay to move to Sunday. It just, still feels like, oh.
Hello, Crystal. Welcome. Marta says, I noticed my views on my Wednesday videos were spiking over the weekend, so I figured I might as well try since I'd been on hiatus 4 months already, so it felt like a good time.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's 37 and not a month yet. My children are 21 years and 2 days apart. My eldest has birthed 4 children and may want more. I'm my mother's 6th child. That's a large family.
Mm-hmm.
So many people. I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Yes, AT is author too. We're almost at the bottom. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. It's not. It's Thursday. That's how I chose Wednesdays too. Okay. Finally made it.
Well done.
We have another sprint, which I'm actually going to shorten a little bit because I had it for 30, but I think we're going to make it a 20 just
Okay.
because I don't want us to be here forever. Apparently 2044 is what I clicked, so that's what we're doing.
Play.
Well,
Bees.
Made it bigger.
I will be 50 in 2044 if I'm alive.
I mean, let's hope you are.
What a downer.
Nothing's guaranteed. Come on, guys.
I'll be 45.
Nicely done.
Yeah. I'll be however old Katie is.
Yeah.
Because we're the same year.
What is our second question for this round?
The second question, if I go to the banners, is what's been inspiring you lately?
Oh,
TV shows, music, etc.
great question.
So have a think on that while the bees do their thing, and we'll be back in 20 minutes and 44 seconds. And that was the end of sprint number 2. How did that go for y'all?
I cleaned my dishwasher filter, and I'm horrified.
What
It
row?
disgusting. Like, I pulled it out and I was like, oh, whatever. Like, no, not bad. It's like, have you seen those videos on TikTok where people, and like they're fake, but like where people wash their strawberries and they put them in water and like centipedes crawl out and stuff like that? That's what this experience was giving. Like, initially it didn't look like there was much, and then you just let it soak in the water, and then and then you look in the crevices and oh. And all my plans for lunch have disappeared. No appetite. But anyway, I'm now running vinegar and hot water through an empty cycle on my dishwasher because that's the last step. So the dishwasher has been deep cleaned, is currently being deep cleaned. Yeah, and now I'm gonna recover because that was so gross.
Yeah.
That's harrowing.
Mm-hmm. Highly recommend you do it because, my God, the dishwasher is being so aggressively loud.
I don't think your dishwasher's happy with you right now. It's like
yeah, but the fact that I was washing my dishes and that was my filter, like that was the water was mixing with all the stuff in that filter as my dishes were being washed, is actually really gross to think about. So highly recommend everybody clean their dishwasher filter. How did it go for you, Katie?
Much better because I didn't have to do that.
Did you say no thank you?
Yes, no, thank you.
You're like, I choose to live in ignorant bliss. Thank you very much.
Precisely. That's what was good for me. I'm doing more character stuff. I'm just slowly but surely working my way through my list of characters, and pulling out the traits that I find on the, based on their astrology, and being like, what fits. And so far the astrology has not missed for what I had envisioned in my brain for these characters. So like, love that I picked their sun sign to match well. So that was my sprint. What'd you do, Aisha?
I read a couple pages of The Life Upstairs, the first chapter. Oh, and the dog in the first chapter of this book is named Bear. So I'll let you know if it makes it through the whole book.
I hope he does. Sad.
And then I started working on my royalty romance book a little bit, and I got some ice cream.
Ooh.
Nice. Full sprint.
Very full sprint. How'd you do, Mars?
I just did more reading. I finished part 1, and so there was like 4 minutes left in the sprint, so I'm like, I don't want to read on because I want to update my vlog, so I just scrolled Instagram for the last 4 minutes.
That's fair.
Nice.
I also officially am decluttering the very first cookbook I ever bought for myself, but I took out the recipe that was when I started teaching myself how to cook in college. It was literally my first week of college. This was the first recipe I made for myself, a tomato mozzarella basil salad. And this is like, I am known for this salad, not gonna brag, but so I cut it out of the book, but I'm getting rid of the rest of the book. So
should frame those and put it on the wall.
Well, what I've decided is like, I flipped through a lot of my books and I realized like, I don't need any books, like any pancake recipes in books anymore, because I found a pancake recipe for one that literally made the best pancakes I've ever had in my entire life in Colorado. And it's super easy to scale up. So if I like have children and stuff, I can just, double the recipe to double the amount of pancakes. But I literally never need to know another pancake recipe again, because these are the best pancakes I've ever had. So I printed these out, and I've decided a goal for myself in my 30s is to make a collection, like the Wallissimo cookbook, right? Where it's all of the recipes I have found online or in books, and get them all in one spot. And then eventually the idea is that that's the only thing I need to reference anymore, and I don't need to have a million cookbooks. So
nice. That's fair.
Yeah.
We'll read a couple of comments and then we'll get to the question.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica said, gonna switch to finishing some things on Canva. We had Nadim join us. Hello. Kagehime got 197 words.
Very well done.
I was working on making a stream overlay for the teeny tiny imperceivable possibility that I might stream on Twitch sometime. Exciting stuff.
That was exciting.
Manook's taken some notes on a first draft chapter, I guess. Started editing, 69 words in. Nice.
A
Worked more on the thumbnail, trying to get better at thumbnails, and it's hard. And also, wow, already planning ahead to making pancakes for the children.
I made pancakes for myself. These are really good pancakes.
But you said I can scale it up when I have kids.
That is true. That is true.
My husband and I from Anna have our own Discord server, so we make a channel to dump all our digital recipes in.
Excuse me.
So smart.
How does one get an invite into this server, into this marriage server? I'm obsessed with this as an idea. Anna, please make a video exactly, because actually that seems like such a great tool to have when organizing like a household and having a partnership, is having a Discord where you just keep everything. Please, I'm so legitimately so curious. I want to know everything about this. I'm so fascinated. Anyway, sorry.
There's not as many comments as there was last time, so does everyone want to answer what's been inspiring you lately?
Mm-hmm. I mentioned this right at the top of the stream, but Taylor Swift's new album has a very specific song on it that just sent me spiraling into a brain rot. I have not known, like, level of mental obsession that I have not seen since, gosh. I'm trying to think, like, I don't think I ever reached this level of brain rot when working on A Dark and Secret Magic. I would say maybe the first book I ever wrote, but it feels more intense than that. So I think it is sending me into the days of like teenagedom fan fiction was level of brain rot. That is the level of brain rot I'm experiencing right now. So thank you to Miss Swift.
Do you want to share which song it is?
I do not. Thank you, though. Thank you for the question.
That. Katie?
Oh, is it my turn? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. What has been inspiring me lately? I have been listening to the audiobook of Wicked Beauty, I think it's called, by Katie Robert, which is part of her Dark Olympus series. And it's basically just a series that is full of shenanigans and politics and like sex. And, you know, so now I'm reading that. And I've also pulled some of the old like shifter romance novels that like my mother had back in like the early 2000s, like out from underneath. They're like in a tub underneath our guest room bed. And so I want to start reading those. I know they're not going to hold up and they're going to be full of misogyny and grossness, but like I'm just in a paranormal romance vibe. So like that's kind of like what I've been inspired by lately, because I'm working on currently a paranormal romance series of like 5 or 6 books, just because I can, because why not? Because it's fun. So yeah, those are the things I've been listening to, and I guess reading, to try to just keep the vibes up, you know, keep the vibe going, keep these good times rolling.
Sorry, that was very loud.
You
Yeah, I dropped my lip gloss.
My lip
What's
gloss
last
is
week
popping.
We spend too much fucking time together.
Answer the question. What's been inspiring me lately? I think at this point in time, I am more inspired by like things I'm seeing out in nature. But I feel like when I ever get stuck, I always return to the same like evergreen sources of inspiration, like Star Trek or Supernatural.
Oh.
Fair
That's
enough.
the answer.
Star Trek movies or TV shows?
The TV shows. I haven't seen any of the movies except for the one with Chris Hemsworth.
Okay. The 2009 one, which is
The one where he dies like 10 minutes in.
See, I'm the opposite. I've seen all of the movies except the first one. We're not going to talk about that, but I've never seen any of the TV shows.
Mars. The first one is so good.
Yeah.
The TV shows are so good.
The TV shows are also so
I have been meaning to get back to it for literal years, but it just hasn't happened yet. I
But
do
the
love
first one is
Star Trek, though.
so good.
Okay, do you want to know why I haven't seen the first one?
Wow.
Yes.
So it was the year that the third one in the reboots came out.
Okay.
And my dad and I watched the first 2 of the reboots to prepare for this third one coming out.
Okay.
And we watched the second one of the reboots, and he's like, this is just the Wrath of Khan,
Yes.
but newer. And so we had to watch the Wrath of Khan so that I would see how similar they were, and then we just carried on from there. And I watched all the way up to, what is it, like the 11th one that came out in like 2000 or whatever?
I'm so sorry. So you never saw the 2009 one with Chris Hemsworth?
No, I've never seen the original first movie.
Oh, but
The
you've
motion
seen
picture.
the 2009 one.
Yes.
Okay, because that one is just so good. I can still watch that movie despite certain visual horrors, which are quite horrifying. Like, I'm still capable of watching that movie as a comfort movie. Okay, so let that be an endorsement of how much I love that movie. If anybody's looking for a movie to watch, the 2009 Star Trek with Chris Pine, so good.
My favorite Star Trek is, I think it's the 6th one, but I might be wrong. But it's called Undiscovered Country, which is a line taken from Hamlet, fun fact. And it's the one where the Klingons become friends with everyone else.
Aw.
That's my comfort Star Trek movie. I don't like the one with the whales. That one's my least favorite. I think that's the one that comes right before the one that I like. But it's whales in space, and I'm not here for that.
Oh, Doctor Who did that too.
Yeah, it's a weird trope that I just don't like, and I don't understand why it's in so many things.
Also, Kiko, I'm not totally sure why you just put Chris Pine. Chris Pine is in those Star Trek movies, but the reason Devesha and I are saying Chris Hemsworth is because Chris Hemsworth in the 2009 Star Trek plays Jim Kirk's father, okay, in the first 10 minutes of the film. And that's how you differentiate the first Chris Pine movie from all the other ones, is the one with Thor in it before he was Thor. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So good.
As for what's inspiring me lately, though, the one thing that's been inspiring me for, I don't know if it's lately, because it's kind of been since February, but there's a YouTube channel. It's technically a Twitch channel, but they upload the VODs on YouTube. That's where I watch, called Secret Sleepover Society. And it's a husband and wife who play video games, and they've been playing Bloodborne. And I'm just obsessed. That game is everything I love in vibes. And every time they upload a new VOD, I'm like, give it to me right now.
Oh.
I've also been listening to Dance Fever, the Florence and the Machine album that dropped a couple of years ago. I loved it when it came out, and then I'd never listened to it again until like last week. I suddenly remembered it existed, and I've made it my whole personality.
Amazing.
I love that album so much. And yes, I was making sure it was the right one because I literally also just rediscovered this album. I think it's because of Florida on the new Taylor Swift one, which has Florence and the Machine on it. And I was like, oh, I love Florence and the Machine. Let me go listen to Dance Fever again. And now it's on my May playlist again. So like, once again, our brains are just connected through time and space.
Yeah, those two things have been my entire life recently.
Those are good vibes.
Those are good vibes. Those are great vibes, in fact.
Let's see what our friends have said. Marta says, honestly, I haven't been consuming much media, so my first thought was my new walk to work, since I get to walk along the canal every morning, and there's flowers, and it's gorgeous. That's definitely so lovely, and I'm very jealous. Anna watched 4 episodes of The Gilded Age on the plane last night, and OMG, so much GGG inspiration, even though it's 1880s New York City, and GGG is London 1895, still the costumes. I have to check this out, because Gay Vampires is 1880s New Jersey. So, I'm filing that away for the future. It's a lot more inspiring on the way home than on the way to work, though. Fair enough. Crystal says it's been music, but it's always been music, lol. Also my commute. Not much to do on a 45-minute commute, rather than think and play around with ideas. Manook says I found some great music last Tuesday that fits the vibe of my fic, so that's been inspiring me.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Kate goes into Dune Part 2. Obsessed. Haven't been that obsessed with it since the first time I read it and watched the miniseries.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've still never done anything with Dune. There's a copy of it in my apartment. I'm never going to read it. other people answer. Where were we?
If you're never going to read it, just declutter it.
It's not mine, it's Jacob's.
Oh, okay.
He's also never going to read it.
Then declutter it.
Nah,
Go ahead,
he
say
likes
to
owning things like that.
Hmm.
He has a lot of books about like tragedies at sea.
Oh my god.
That's his favorite genre of book, is like historical things, like the Endurance, which is the famous boat
Good.
from Antarctica and everything. That's like
Yeah.
his favorite thing to read about. I don't understand why, but we have so many.
Hmm.
He'd love the Icebreaker, the one you wrote. The Icebreaker.
Well, thank you, but it's not
It's
real.
about a boat that like
It's
runs
a-
aground.
It's about the captain of a boat.
I thought you were
There's a
talking
boat
about
in
that hockey romance that just came out. I was like, what?
No,
Where's the correlation?
no, no. The original Icebreaker, the OG, the only icebreaker that matters.
Thank you.
The chocolate short story Icebreaker.
Keiko approves of Florence and the Machine. I'm glad people have good taste. Jessica says, music, I think. I've been reading Gray Bryan's Vampire Mate series, and it has, like, nothing to do with what I'm plotting. It's fair. Sometimes you need something completely different from your own ideas.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I probably won't, but I'll think about it a lot. That's what I do with things that are recommended to me. Dune Part 2 was the best movie I've ever seen in cinema. Like, I don't know how I can ever watch this movie on a small TV screen compared to cinema.
It was amazing.
I don't know. I'm not into desert fantasy.
You don't need to be, but other people can be.
Yeah, that's fair. Although I do like... Oh god, Katie, what's the book that... City of Brass? Is
Yes.
that's desert fantasy, but it's also like city desert fantasy. And I like that.
Desert adjacent. It's like
Yeah.
desert adjacent. Like they go through the desert on a magic carpet in the first book, but then they get to a city and it's like really lush and stuff because there's magic and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's a little bit of
Whatever.
desert, but not that much.
That's as close to desert fantasy as I'm a fan of. Good luck with whatever you're dealing with, Javesha.
She's just gone. Oh.
Hmm.
For me, it's how Chalamet brought all the... I don't want to
Paul
pronounce
Atreides.
things.
Paul
Okay.
Atreides to
I
screen.
saw Paul, and then I'm like, I'm not pronouncing what's after that. So
Atreides,
thank you.
yeah, and how they
Uh,
showed his character development. Yeah, it's a
uh,
great. It's a great film.
It's also
And I-
very long, and I don't know if I have time for that.
But like, that is such a thing to say. Actually, Mars, I don't know your story. So I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to think this is a read. It is just an assumption, and it could be completely not the correct assumption. Because yeah, I'm doing a lot of prefacing. I've had people say this exact same thing to me, and it just isn't true. Okay, so what I'm about to say is not a read, but you strike me as the kind of person who has watched the director's cuts of the Lord of the Rings movies. Yes or no?
Yes,
There you go.
but
Uh-huh.
I am a creature of habit,
Uh-huh.
and my things like Lord of the Rings are my comfort stuff, and tickles the autism brain.
Mm-hmm.
New things that I'm taking in for the first time, I very much prefer smaller chunks.
Okay.
I think that's why I like TV shows more than I like movies, because you can do like an episode at a time. And like when I'm reading books, I prefer shorter chapters.
Mhm.
It's just now as an adult, I find it a lot easier to take in media that way. But when I was younger, I did enjoy the big, long, epic sagas.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I
Actually,
also think though,
go for it.
Lord of the Rings, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you watch them at home. You can pause them whenever you want and like go and get a snack or stop or like come back to them. When you go to see Dune in theaters, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck there for 2.5 hours.
I guess I'm coming at it from the perspective of that. When I went and saw Dune, I literally watched the first movie at home and then went to the theaters. And that was, I believe that was the perfect way for me to do that. And thus I tell everybody, if you can do that, where you watch both movies on the same day, because they really are the entire book. And it is like experiencing the entire story. And, yeah, I feel like having just watched the first movie made the second movie all the more amazing, because it felt like all this resolution to this stuff that had happened in the first movie, big things and little things. So yeah, I loved it.
That's fair. I understand why it's like this big cultural thing and why everyone loves Dune, both the movies and the books and the TV show and everything. I just know my tastes and preferences, and I'm like, I'd rather be into other stuff.
That is fair.
Got some love for Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. Marta says, being stuck for an entire movie is the main reason I don't like cinemas. Like, I need at least one toilet break, especially if I want drinks and snacks. Valid.
That's why you pee before the movie starts.
With Dune, you need intermission. Yeah.
And apparently Dune Messiah is still coming. Don't think they'll do Children of Dune or God Emperor.
Hope not, because gosh, those were hard to read. Anyway, yeah.
That is my only contribution to this conversation as someone that also hasn't watched Dune. It was a lot less commenty this time around. We have one more sprint if you guys want to stay. I mean, I only allotted 2 hours for this because that's just the usual Chaos Queen stream time, but also I don't mind going later.
Well, then you invited me, and that was your fatal error. Because it's just, I show up on time, but I never end on time.
That's fair. I've got nothing going on, so.
Me neither.
I'm gonna have to go to the airport, so I'll.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
Bye. Bye. So the third timer that I have pulled up is the Taurus timer because we are in Taurus season and it just felt right.
We have a Taurus.
You're pointing in the
Which
wrong
direction are you gesturing, Katie?
Yeah, that was so weird. No, I'm not on that side.
The other way?
Yeah.
Why is it flipped for me?
I have no
'Cause
idea. I have no idea.
Because I'm pointing the wrong way when I'm looking at myself. That's weird.
You and I could do a heart. You and I could do a heart like this.
No, I can't.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're doing it. We're
got
literally
it.
doing a heart.
Girl, it doesn't look like that on my screen. We're just two bitches going the same way.
People on YouTube, let us know what's happening right now. What does YouTube see? Because that's what is most important. Yeah.
That was very trippy to me.
A couple of comments. I go back down my research rabbit hole that is the desert. I'm currently doing all the desert stuff in all my stories. Fair enough. Manuka's a Taurus. Yay!
Yay.
When's your birthday?
Yeah, it's not on the calendar.
Yeah, because I need to know so I can put it on there.
Me, who was just thinking about inviting Wallace to my stream, but it ends just before bedtime.
Rethink that strategy, my dear.
We are chitty chatty. Chitty chatty bang bang.
It was a successful heart.
Yay!
Great. For everybody but me. I love
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
And Minook's birthday is May 18th.
Lovely. 2 days after mine.
That's
In
the day my
Paris.
cousin's getting married.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a Saturday.
And it's all the way in upstate New York, so I gotta be there the whole weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
If I could plan it out right, because we all know this is something you can plan, but if I could find the love of my life within the next year and then get engaged, that means in 2 years, my birthday will be on a Saturday and I could literally have my wedding on my birthday so that way I'll never forget my anniversary.
That's one way to do it, yeah.
Okay. Most people don't like having special occasions on their birthday, but whatever floats your boat.
I just like making days of celebration even more celebratory. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
See,
Sounds
I am of the mindset that if I ever get married, I would want it to be on our dating anniversary. So it's
so
a
it's-
full loop.
Yes.
Oh.
That's legitimate as well. That is completely legitimate.
I just want my wedding, when I get married, to be at a time when it's cold outside because I don't like being hot and I
That
don't want
is
to be hot
also
on my
fair.
wedding day.
Fair
To be
enough.
fair, actually, in reality, I'm probably going to get married on a weekday because I'm going to quote unquote elope, but I know that it will piss off a lot of my family members if they don't technically get invited. Well, not piss off, I shouldn't say that. It'll hurt their feelings. So I will be sending out like a message of like, hey, I'm going to the courthouse on this date, but I'm going to make it in the middle of the week. So it's complicated for people to come to. So they will be invited, but it's inconvenient. So
I love that so much. That's so funny.
Diabolical.
Not Wallace knowing that 2 years from now her birthday will be a Saturday.
okay, I'm sorry, that's not a hard jump to make. Like it's on a Thursday this year. You just add 2 days to it. And it's not a leap year because this is a leap year. So you just add 2 days. So that's easy. That was an easy mental jump.
That's fair. I don't know what day my birthday's going to be yet because my birthday's not until September, so I'm not thinking about it. But
Yeah,
yours is
well,
coming up. So.
Mine is literally next Thursday. Mine is a week from
Yeah.
today. I'm in the last week of my 20s.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Never
you're
thought
teasing
about
me,
it.
but the only thought in my head is that is the Boston Marathon longer than the LA Marathon? No, the Boston Marathon's, I'm afraid that is common sense.
It was sincere. How have I never
Oh,
noticed
Martha,
that
oh
before?
no.
Oh, I love this. Manuk says, I had an autumn wedding in a greenhouse with fairy lights. I'm currently recreating my wedding with MCR.
Stunning.
That's so cute.
Stunning.
I love that.
You're living my dream, Manuk. You're living my dream. Minus the kid, but still living my dream.
That is amazing.
Now I can
love
pull
it.
the banner for question 3. Oh, why is it blocking us? That's so
No
weird
ideas.
that doesn't move us up. But anyway, question 3 is, what is one thing you're hoping to do or accomplish before the end of the month?
Great question.
My cat is screaming at the door. Okay, that was surprising. I'm going to press play on the timer, so see everyone in 20 minutes. Okay, friends, that was the end of our third and final sprint. How did that go?
All right. Well, just did some more cleaning of the kitchen. She's really, really looking beautiful at this point. So, yes, very pleased.
Lovely.
Can't wait to get her all gross and dirty again when I cook tomorrow.
I just did more character stuff. Just worked on putting more things. I have a lot of characters to do, so I'm just moving right along.
Fair enough. Hello?
I'm
What's
so
that
sorry.
beeping?
No, I'm so sorry that I got a text.
Oh, okay.
She's very popular. How'd you do, Mars?
I updated my vlog, and then I read like 15 more pages, so not a ton, but I'm getting there.
Nice.
Most of the comments that we got were answers to the question, but then we also have Keiko saying, "My YouTube suddenly shows a new feature. Under every comment, translate to German. That wasn't there an hour ago."
Oh,
It's interesting.
that's cool.
Reminds me of the time Crystal was streaming, and this random Russian man came into the chat and was just talking with us because he saw everything in Russian on his end. Like, it translated the title of the stream and the comments and everything.
Oh.
And we're just like, no, this is English.
Wow.
He must have been so confused when Crystal started talking.
It was one of her gaming streams, and he's like, I thought this was like a how to speak English stream or something. And we're like, no, she's just playing a video game.
I guess that's a good way to learn, though. But wow,
At least he's polite
fun.
about it.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Marta spent that sprint checking on why the thing I ordered that was supposed to arrive today isn't here yet. Realized the tracker said it arrived yesterday. Then proceeded to be confused.
I also did some ordering, Marta, and the thing I ordered a very long time ago is better be arriving tomorrow. So,
Oh,
I hope that it does.
well, here's a fun little fact. It's not being sent to my house.
oh, that's how long ago it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's wow.
Mm-hmm.
This was for you, Wallace.
Oh, Gesundheit. Thank you.
Kika says, I see sometimes the titles of videos translate into German. They sound weirdly translated.
The AI.
I wonder why some get translated but not others. Like, that's very strange.
That is.
No, I've realized there's been a miscommunication. It's not something I got for myself. But it was ordered a while ago. Katie, I thought you and I were on the same page, and so that's why I said yes. But I don't believe we were on the same page. But no worries, Katie. You hopefully will understand tomorrow.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were saying that you ordered it to yourself when you still lived in Dallas, which I think is what Martha thought too.
Yes, that is. I understand now that was where the miscommunication occurred.
Oh, great. So am I getting it tonight, tomorrow, or today, or what? Is it me? Or is it somebody else?
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Marta says, I'm just anxious because I don't really know my neighbors that well yet. And the message doesn't even say it was delivered to a neighbor, but, like, I don't have it, so who does?
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's
rough. Right. Shall we answer the last question?
Yes. Here's the thing about me, Mars. How could you expect me to only have one thing I was hoping to accomplish before the end of the month? If we're being so for real, I'm hoping to accomplish my line edits before the end of the month because my deadline for that is on the 21st. But that's sort of like a given because it's an actual professional deadline. So I will say this. I am hoping... Thank you. Commentary from my dishwasher. I am hoping to have by the during the entirety of the month to post to TikTok every single day with this video series that I'm doing. So I hope that I remain consistent about that, which speaking of, once this stream is over, that's probably the next task I should do, because I've been so focused on cleaning today that I have not A, done any line edits, or B, filmed my TikTok. So
Alice. Oh no.
she got in her hyperfixated air. It's fine. The line edits are not going to take that long. Right?
Yeah.
Please don't let that be foreshadowing, and you have to clip that for your video where it, let's not make that
starting
foreshadowing.
tomorrow. You guys, I have something amazing that I am in production with, and I'm just going to give you a little spoiler. I've decided I love the idea. Okay, I've gotten really into cash stuffing videos, but I'm not going to make cash stuffing videos. But I love the idea of having like a consistent overhead video every week on like a specific day. And I think I'm going to make it like a plan with me, but it's not a plan with me. It's a like figure out my writing schedule for the day, because I want to do definitively 2 hours at least of line editing every day. But then I am making myself a list of 20 items, 10 of which are line edits, just repeated. And then the other 10 are other projects. So it's like a chocolate short story, brain rot, Project Fantasy SLC, like all these things. And then once I have completed my 2 hours of line edits, I'm going to roll a d20, and then whatever I land on is what I get to work on for the next 45-minute, 15-minute Pomodoro thing. So, and
I like that.
But I'm thinking though, because I want to every morning have like an 6 hour to 8 hour chunk where I'm working, right? And so I know the first 2 hours are for the line edits, but then I'm thinking I'll do like a, thank you for the commentary, dishwasher. I'll do all the rolling and stuff and like plan out my whole week or something like that. I haven't figured it out, but I do want it to be content of some form or another. Maybe it'll just be Instagram Reels instead of like whole videos. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So
I love that idea. It feels like the Wheel of Fate, or Wheel of Fate, Jar of Fate. What the fuck was it called?
But it isn't. It is, but it isn't. Like
the vibes. The vibes are there.
Yeah.
Similar vibes.
Though. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, Tornado
Molissimo Spin.
That's one of it. That's one of the ones I need to put.
It's on your website and you forgot about it?
Look, I didn't forget about it. I was making the list, and then I had to get up to do something for washing my kitchen, and then we came back and the sprint was over, so I just got interrupted.
Okay.
Okay.
Acceptable.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What is something I'm hoping to accomplish? I think I would like to accomplish having all of the outlines done for the Paranormal Romance series, which is the 5 of them, and like have like all of the pre-writing brain work done on all of them by the end of May. That's my hopeful goal for writing wise. I also am hoping to post on YouTube again, because it's been so long since I posted a regular form content. Like I've just been posting, I posted my agent announcement, like those things. And like, when I get back to my roots essentially of posting normal writing content again. So those are my 2 goals, my writing goal and my hopefully social media goal. Cause I feel like I've been doing pretty good on Instagram. I've been posting a lot on Instagram. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. So I just got to get back to the YouTube, because she's the core of who I am. Like, I'm not an Instagram girl. I am a YouTube girl. I mean,
It's fair. Before I answer, I want to acknowledge Jessica's comment. Kind of had that. My Bath & Body Works order was shipped, and they immediately sent me an email saying it's arriving tomorrow, when the tracking says the 10th.
Whoa. What is
ordered on Sunday?
What is the truth?
I guess you didn't get it the next day, Jessica. Although that'd be kind of fun. That'd be nice, honestly. Order it and it just arrives.
Amazon vibes.
My answer for this question is a lot less structured than yours, and mine is just, I'd like to move without complications, because
Fair.
We get our keys next Wednesday, and then I'm immediately leaving for a several-day weekend, whatever, trip to my cousin's wedding, and then I don't know how much moving my boyfriend's going to do while I'm gone. We have to go to Delaware to get a bunch of furniture from his brother, who's also moving. It's going to be a whole lot, and I would just like to survive that.
Yeah. I was going to say, can I make an adjustment? Because a lot of times complications are outside of your control, and maybe the mindset going in is, I would like to move and have the resilience to move through complications. And just like the acknowledgement that there will be complications can remove some of the anxiety, because sometimes the large anxiety is just the anticipation that something will go wrong. So if you just say, something's going to go wrong, but I'm going to have the resilience to move through it, that kind of can take away that anxiety, because you're taking away that question mark of like, what if something goes wrong, you know?
That's a good mindset. I like that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to get through moving.
Best of luck. What's like a date by which you know it will all be done, that you can kind of just like think about in the moments of harrowing? You'd be like, oh, by June 15th, like it's going to be done, you know, and June 15th will come, right? There will be a day that comes when you don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah. Well, our lease here ends the 29th. So we have that, what is that, like a week and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, we're moving a block away. It's not far.
Yeah.
It'll get done. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to have to actually do it.
That's fair.
I feel that, yeah.
Marta says, at this point, my goal is to make it through a month without getting ill.
Sorry.
Crystal says, MCR stuff.
That's
valid.
That's very valid.
There you go.
Keiko has a term paper, been procrastinating. Not that my teacher minds. He hasn't even started reading the term papers yet, and I got an extension. You should probably still get on that.
If the due date has passed and you haven't even started, I urge you to start.
Yes. I'm getting a little stressed for you, Kiko.
Again, Kiko, just think about it this way. Like, in a year, it will have been a year. You know, you can do it now, because in a year, it will have been a year.
A year passes and it's been a year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a lot of posts lately that are like, I hear people saying they don't want to do something because it'll take X amount of time to do, but the time will pass anyway, so you might as well do it. And I'm like, you know what? The time will pass anyway.
That's so true. I know that's something I think about a lot, because I've talked about this before, but I did try and apply to PhD programs and I ended up not getting into any of them. But before the application process happened, I agonized over whether or not I actually wanted to go to graduate school, because I was like, wow, do I really want to dedicate 7 years of my life to science and be completely married to that and not have a social life and not do all these other things? And I will be like 30 by the time I get my PhD and da 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 da. And now sometimes I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I mean, that time passed anyway, right? And in my worst moments, I'm like, wow. And it was the pandemic and I lived at home and I didn't have a social life and I didn't do any of these things, except I also didn't get a PhD. But then I had grace with myself and I'm like, except you got your master's, you made amazing friends, you had this YouTube channel, and now the kind of absolute cherry on top is I've come out of it and I'm publishing a book. So now I feel like I'm on even par with my expected life expectations for myself at the age of 30. I'm like, okay, we're okay. Yeah.
And I mean, I've been out of school for 3 years and like, I am not thinking about the term papers that I was stressed about that took me. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to take me forever. And now here I am 3 years out of school. So like just getting it out and, you know, even if it's just like the shittest first draft, and even if you work on it for like 5 minutes and then you take a 10-minute break, like, cause I see you say you have concentration problems. Like,
sorry, someone knocked on my door.
Oh God, please don't get murdered.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. It's probably like her neighbor or something. Yeah.
Marta says, I guess secondary goal is try to consistently work on my book, my art, and my videos for at least 3 hours a week each to try and get back into the habit of doing creative things.
That's good. Yeah.
Godspeed. Hopefully you don't get ill again.
Sending all my good vibes to you not getting ill, to your immune system.
Immune system. Luke says, my goal is to work on anything writing related for 30 minutes every day and come up with a great accountability sheet. Oh, Marta and I don't know why I just skipped that, my apologies. Marta and I have come up with a great accountability sheet that helps us with our goals this month.
That's so cute. I love that.
Jessica says, I'm hoping to finish 2 books. That's all I want, honestly. Maybe finish this outline and re-outline my October Ween story that's up on Medium. See, now you added a bunch, so that seems like a lot.
And finish 2 books is in finish writing 2 books or finish reading 2 books? Because those are 2 very different things. I assume it's reading 2 books, but I could be wrong. Jessica's very productive.
Oh, Octoberween. I love that, whatever that is.
Massive concentration problems we talked about. 7 years, question mark, to Wallace about the PhD.
That's how long a PhD and what I wanted to get would have taken, about 7 years. Yeah.
For just the PhD, or is that like master's into PhD?
Well, it's sort of like it is a combined program, but it's kind of one of those things where you don't just get your master's in it, right? Like you would do 2 years of classes and teaching and TA, et cetera, and then you'd have 5 years to do all your research and get your like defense done. So
That's fair. I have a lot of friends and stuff in higher education, and it's always so interesting because it's something I briefly considered, and then I'm like, nah, I'm good. But like my sister is currently doing her master's. My friend just started her master's program. I have a different friend who applied to a bunch of PhD programs but didn't do it. So I'm like, I vaguely know how that sort of stuff goes, but also it's so individual.
yeah. And I do think it is different. Like, and I want to make it so clear I'm not making a judgment on like level of difficulty. It's just setup is different if it is a PhD in the humanities versus a PhD in like a scientific field. So I think that's another element, which that was one of the reasons I was really stressed about the decision of trying to get a PhD. And then the universe was like, bitch, it doesn't matter what you want because it ain't gonna happen. So
It's not what you need.
and then I panicked and applied to a financial economics master's and did that for 2 years instead. So, you know, that what they say about sometimes graduate school is just prolonging entering adulthood. That was 100% correct for me. Like I had no use and no reason for getting a master's in economics, and yet I have one. So there you go.
Master's in economics to cash stuffing pipeline is a straight line.
Yeah, no, I see that. I can see the connection there.
Like
Yeah.
it was somewhere and you're self-conscious.
I don't have a master's in personal economics. I have a master's in like how to like analyze.
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. The pipeline still exists.
And also hot take, my master's and like all the stuff that they talked about in how to analyze the stock market, I really feel like was just a bunch of witchcraft. Like to me, it's like, I think you're lying. Like all of this stuff is, you could do hours and hours of the analysis that they said I should, like that I learned how to do in order to invest in the stock market. And you would have better results if you just put all of your money into the S&P 500 like combination account and just put it straight into the US economy and just let it rise at a steady rate over decades, as opposed to trying to predict on individual companies. And I will die by that statement. I won't die by it, but I fully believe it.
I'll stand on the hill.
I won't die on that hill.
I won't die. Maybe I'll stand. I'll sit. Maybe get a picnic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just has clarified reading books. No plans of writing 2 books in 1 month. Yeah, you'd have to be like Katie to do that.
Yeah.
And I can't even do that.
That's not true.
I can't write 2 books in a month. Hello? I've never done that.
Yeah, but I feel like if you
never done, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Mars. I was like, just because you've never done something doesn't mean you can't do it. And if there is one person off tube who I feel like had a fighting chance, it's you, 100%.
I am so grateful for your confidence in me, but my ability to write books has like.
Okay, Katie, you go through this phase. You have like 6. You're on a 6-month cycle. Okay. And
okay, I've been on the 6-month cycle for 2 years, girl. When am I ending?
Sorry, are you kidding me? First of all, you did a 500,000 wordy in 2022. So, and then
I only wrote 2 books total.
Okay, but you still did a 500,000 wordy, first of all. And then
I didn't write 2 books in 1 year, in one month.
Last year, I'm sorry, how quickly did you do that rewrite of Cruel Summer?
Okay, that doesn't count.
Go.
That's revision. That's revision. That is not writing an entirely new manuscript in a
Did I say that's what you had to do? Did I say it had to be writing?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's not what I was talking about.
Okay, well then be more specific.
You're fine.
We are not fighting.
So
I promise
funny.
to anyone
It's
who's
just
like,
us. We're just committing to a bit. I promise.
Yeah,
This
we
is
really
all
are.
in good fun.
like, this is nothing. This is- like, no one be afraid in the comments. We are fine.
I mean, I was gonna bring up the fact that you did 5 revisions of your book in like 2 months.
Right.
And I think that's pretty similar to writing 2 books in a month.
I 100% agree with you, Mars.
You're just a wordy girl. You gotta accept
I
that.
am.
You
I am a
have
wordy
to
girl,
accept
which is
that.
why I can't write 2 books in a month, because that'd be 200,000 words, and I can't write 200,000 words
But
in a month.
see, but that's what I'm saying though, is that I feel like that would be the challenge, is constraining yourself, not actually reaching to not
Then what's
finishing
the
2
point?
books, but constraining yourself to keep one book short so that way you can start on the next one and get the next one done. That would be the challenge.
Well, I don't feel like I'll ever do that because I love drafting too much.
Okay.
I like my big books, and I cannot lie.
Okay. See you in 30 years.
Night Nanook.
Why 30 years? Are we
We'll
gonna-
make 30 your butts.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think when you are 45 years old, 55 years old, that's 30, 20 plus 30. We're going to do a retrospective on your career if we're still alive. And, and you will just be surprised by the output. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to be surprised by the output. I just don't think there's
A
a
lot can
difference
happen
between
in 30
writing a lot of books in 30 years and
Mhm.
writing 200,000 word books in a month.
I'm not saying
If I do that, someone needs to put me in a mental hospital if I do that. That is mental
I'm not
illness.
saying that's what you're going to do. I'm saying I would not be surprised if at some point over the course of the next 30 years, you did write 2 books in 1 month, whether that is you draft a 50,000 word like novella, or for you, that'd be a novella, and re-edit a manuscript, or, I'm just saying we'll do a retrospective in 30 years. See you in 30 years. That's what I'm trying to say.
Have you guys
wait.
been recommended the video of this person who wrote 40 books in 4 years?
Good God. No, I have not.
You mean Brandon Sanderson?
No. Her name is Lydia Foxglove,
Oh,
I
fun.
think.
Ooh, fun
Okay.
name.
I don't know,
Fun name.
but
That's
her video got recommended to me, and I'm like, excuse me? And I didn't watch the first one. It's a 2-part thing. The first one was talking about the experience, and the second one was like tips on how to write more or something like that. And I'm like, I'm just curious as to what she has to say.
Mhm.
And it amounted to just write more. Like, she's just like, find more time to write and
look-
write more words per sprint or whatever. And I'm like, that's not tips and tricks.
Here's my thing. I'm a full believer that in the same way that like some runners just compete against themselves, that's what I think writers should do. Because I think inherently people, and you can read craft books and adjust your process, but I think inherently there are people who can, and there are people, saying people who can't, but I would group myself in that group though. But I just think we have different processes, right? And I don't think it's fair to yourself to look at writers with that level of output and think that it reflects on you. The only person that reflects on is themselves. And then if you want to write more in comparison to what you normally write, and see if you get the same amount of enjoyment from writing, see if you get the same amount of fulfillment. So
Mhm.
that is
Yeah.
my statement on that.
I agree.
Crystal has returned from the war that was aggressive cat cuddles.
That's nice.
That's what I hear a lot too. Writing is like a muscle. Your lungs continue practicing and you can do more over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
I fully
for
agree.
sure.
I do agree with that, because, and Katie was witness when I started my brain rot, the way that it just fell out of me. And I don't think that a brain rot 10 years ago would have come out. How do I phrase this in an appropriate way? Would have manifested so quickly onto the page at such a quick rate.
Mhm. And every book's different. Like, I wrote
Mhm.
Cruel Summer really fast. Oh gosh, why am I so ghostly? Sorry, I was like, I have no features. I wrote Cruel Summer really fast, but it took me like so many months to write like The Wrath King, to write
Mhm.
Invisible String, to write other
Mhm.
books. And like, it depends on the book. Sometimes books will come out of you fast, and some books are like pulling teeth. Me and the Eclipse Project, which I still haven't fucking finished a first
Mm.
draft for,
Mm.
going on 4 years.
Okay, but I will also say, I'm you know, before my statement was very nice of like, everybody has different abilities, but I also think we underestimate ourselves because I used to be like, oh, I'm just the kind of person who I write a draft, I take a break from it for 3 months, I come back and I write the next draft over the course of 6 months, right? Like I just thought that was how I operated. And then I did 1 round of developmental edits within 19 days, okay, for a book. And it was a huge round of developmental edits. And then I had 1 week break before my editor was like, hey, next round of dev edits, and you have 1 week this time. And it was still like a not insignificant amount of edits. So, and I was able to go back in that second round of edits and I felt like I had fresh eyes. And so my whole personal theory that I need 3 to 6 months of a break from a book before I can jump back in was false. And I do think that sometimes we do need to experiment with ourself and maybe have accountability and have that external deadline if that's something that motivates you. Because if I had just been like, okay, I'm only going to take a 1 week break and then I'm going to come back, I don't think that would have worked. I think it was necessary for me to have that external deadline. But now that I know I'm capable of that level of like productivity, I do wonder if I can now set that level of expectation for myself without the external deadline. Because I needed the external deadline to prove it. And now I've proved it. So can I recreate it? That's the scientific question.
You're going to have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested in the results of this hypothesis.
But so that's what I'm saying for Katie. I feel like if we could do it for you for this.
Where did that come to me?
The Eclipse project, because you're like, oh, I still
Oh.
haven't finished a draft in 4 years, da da da. But like, you could though. That's the thing. We just have to figure out what opens you up to finish.
Tell your agent to tell you to finish a draft.
Basically,
I mean, yeah, essentially, but
your agent or your.
redacted.
Redacted.
We'll see, because I have finished a high fantasy draft before, multiple high fantasy drafts before, so it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not that
Mm-hmm.
because the Wrath King, I've written her so many times. What is?
Are you
okay?
good?
Did you just see the spirits?
My upstairs neighbor is doing something fascinating, and I'm listening. I'm curious.
I'm like, do you see into the beyond?
Always, I'm always staring into the abyss, and it is always staring back at me. Good God!
It's like, hey, love to see you.
Say hello to JK and Laura who have joined us. We are done sprinting, but we're chatting. We've had a lot of chatting today.
Sorry, Mars.
No, it's
Do
been
you regret it? Do you regret?
No, I love chatting. It's great. It's better than the last time I had a solo stream and not a single person showed up, so it was me talking the whole time.
Oh my god, no!
Oh,
It was so funny. I'm like, well, I guess we're sprinting.
That is such a, when I have my Wallysimo work days, that's always my like internal fear, which is why I always end up begging Katie or Devesha or Steve to come and join me because I'm so worried nobody's going to show up in the comments, and I'll just be like, but if I do have one useless superpower, is that I could talk to a potted plant. So
That's just about to say. I was like, girl, you can talk to anything, anytime, anywhere. You got the abyss to talk to. Like, come on.
that is such a good point. That's my next Wallysimo workday stream. Is title just talking to the abyss.
Oh, amazing. Laura has a prologue. Nice.
Lovely.
For what project? Can we know?
Yeah. Spill the beans. If you want to. You don't have to.
Mm.
No, you must, Laura. No, I'm kidding.
Katie.
Tell me things.
It's Kid Hades' POV from inside Chronos' stomach when they and their siblings get eaten.
There was a
Ooh.
children's book series that was like all of the Greek myths reimagined, not reimagined, but like told for children. And I remember the second book is called Phone Home Persephone.
I had that book.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, the first book though I can't remember what its title was, but it literally was from Hades' perspective, and the first half of the book is him and all of his siblings getting eaten and living and growing up together in the stomach acid juice of Kronos, and then eventually being upchucked and the Titan versus God war. So
Didn't have that one. I just had the Persephone one. But the second you said like children's book, I'm like, oh my god, is it the same one? And it is. I was thinking about that book the other day actually, because I like remembered what the cover looked like out of nowhere, and I'm like, huh, That's a book
Yep.
I read.
Yes. Yeah, Laura, I don't even know if they're still in print. That's the thing. Like, they're old.
Hmm. I learned recently. Do you know the painting? I think
The
it's
Muffin
called
Man?
like Saturn devouring his children or something.
Yes.
That's not what it's called. That was just a painting this guy put on the inside of his house in his dining room, and
Mhm.
people saw it and were like, "This is what we think it is."
Yeah. No, there's no definitive knowledge of what that is.
It's insane.
It's literally just cannibalism. And
Oh,
people were like, oh, it's Saturn devouring his children.
by
Let's
Goya? Is that who it's by? The Goyas? Or is it this one? Oh God, this. Regardless, all of these are terrifying.
Mm.
Yeah, and the fact that he had that in his living room or dining room or
Mhm.
whatever, like, why do you want that in a space you're in all the time? That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
I know. I think about
That's a
that
power
often,
move.
too, because like when you walk, I go to England a lot, and when we go, we tour estate homes, and they always take you through the dining room, and the art there is always the tour guide always, or the docent is always like, and these pictures were put here to increase the appetite, and it's always like the most grotesque hunting scenes and like, you know, weird still lifes, and you're like, what appetite are we stoking right now? Because are you sure this was not the ladies of the house just trying to stay skinny and like reduce their appetite when they were in the, because good God, it just no, like literally hunting scenes with like boars with spears in their neck and like blood like gushing, like terrible.
Mhm.
Garish and terrible.
Also, Laura, the Mythomania books, which is what
Yes.
they're free on Kindle Unlimited.
There you go.
Interesting.
By the
That's
way.
a strange thing to put on Kindle Unlimited. Not what I
Yeah,
would have
I'm sure
expected.
it is.
I would
Have a
read it.
Hot Time Hades is what the first one is called.
I also know there's one about Atalanta, something like that.
Say
Laura
Cheese
has
Medusa.
Mm-hmm. I saw that one.
Nice
I read
shot,
that one.
nice shot, Cupid.
I read that one. That one's about Cupid and Psyche.
I only had the Persephone one. I think I got it at like a library book sale or something, but I don't
I
know.
think
It stuck with me through the years.
I don't know if they're Scholastic books, but I feel like I got mine at a Scholastic book fair, but they might not be Scholastic books. It might be like Hyperion or something like that. I don't know. No, that was
Go for
Persephone.
Gold, Atalanta.
That's I read that one.
And stop that bull, Theseus.
I don't know that one.
These are such. Keep a lid on it, Pandora. Like these are so.
So
Like some of them are
funny.
good, and then there's just Get to Work Hercules, and he's on a beach with a club on his shoulder. Like
Mm.
Mm.
these are choices. These are artistic choices, and I don't know how to feel.
But I will say though that the Phone Home Persephone was I think probably the first Greek mythology book I ever read, and so for the longest time, I like through middle school maybe I literally thought her name was Persephone because I thought that
Literally
was
same.
the joke. I thought it was Phone Home Persephone.
This is the one thing Wallace and I have in common from our childhoods.
I feel like we've got a lot in common, Mars. Thank you.
I don't know. I feel like we have very different upbringings. Every time you mention your youth, I'm like, interesting.
I'm still in my youth. Thank you very much.
You're youthier youth.
That's fair.
On that note, we've been going for almost 3 hours.
We have. That is true.
I bet
So
people are
y'all
sick
good
of
if I
us.
end the stream?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Solid.
If you like the dynamic today, especially when Grape Fry was here, we have been missing her in her absence. But if you like this dynamic, plus you think, you know what this dynamic means, Becca C. Smith, then come over to the Blank Page Tavern channel on Monday because, as I said at the beginning of the stream, we are having our 4th session and it's going to be combat heavy unless they make, not combat decisions.
Wish we just run away and let everyone die to the raptors.
100% an option.
I want to
100%
use my
happen.
spells. I'm very excited to use my spells.
We'd had 2 like kind of low key like political intrigue sessions, so I wanted to make sure that the option was there for some more action if people wanted it.
Val has been itching for a fight for 2 straight
Mhm.
episodes. She's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have actual minis, not of raptors, but of dinosaur type creatures, and I'm gonna have an overhead view for you guys. And I was thinking about because a lot of your character pictures are done. I was thinking about printing off little like round signals, like symbols of your characters, so that way we can move them around on the map. So I'm very excited.
I love that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you, Jessica, and everyone else who has shown up. Remember to pre-order Wallace's book and sign up for Katie's newsletter.
And also go follow me on TikTok. I'm Molly Smo on TikTok, and right now and for the next month, I'm talking about a very emotional, transformative journey I went on last year. If you're looking for emotional, transformative journeys, come and listen and potentially get interested in walking around.
Become transformed. Transcend.
Well, listening to me won't transform you, but I'm just saying it was.
Never know.
Well, but here's the thing. It's from listening to someone tell me about this same experience that made me go and do it, and that transformed me. So that's my hope, is that at least one person watching these videos will be like, you know what? I am going to go walk the Camino, and they will find the peace and the change that they needed the way that I did.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have books you can buy that are linked in the description.
Where is she? Oh, it's because I took her home to Dallas, but she's still here. It's because I'm reading Revelry this month, so that Revelry, I have it.
I love the panic. Like, it's
Where
fine.
is it?
It's because Crystal's not on stream. Whenever Crystal's on stream, she's always like, I got it right here.
But I do have it, Morris. I do have it. I think she's over on my couch.
There you go. Katie's got it.
There it is.
I was like, I see it over there on my TBR pile.
Mine is right above my head.
Oh, nice. You need to build a shelf. Well, you're moving, but in your next setup, you need to have a shelf that's closer, so that way it's like there, when you're streaming.
I plan on it being, it's a weird shaped room that my office is going into, so I don't know exactly how I'm figuring it out, but I'm thinking it's going to be more similar to my last place where it was like closer.
Okay.
So hopefully can actually like see what's behind me. But
Yeah.
Also, buy this book because it smells great.
Mm.
It smells
I
like
had nothing to do with that. That wasn't me.
No, but
I appreciate
but
it.
but to entice people, if you like the smell of books, this book smells particularly good. I don't know why it does. Amazon like really said we're gonna make it smell really good. It smells like Barnes and Noble. I didn't buy it at Barnes and Noble, so I don't know why. But
I'm sorry, actually, that is such an interesting customization idea. If you could tell Amazon or KDP or whatever that like they have like a range of scents, and you're like, what do you want this to smell like when it gets sent to your people? And you're like, if it's autumnal, it smells like cinnamon and spice and fall leaves. If it's summer, it smells like salt spray and sea. And I don't know. I just think that's interesting. That'd be
Also,
trademark.
great
Trademarking that idea.
buy my book for reasons other than the content.
Yes.
also the content. But if you want a book that feels great and smells good,
Mars,
also-
I do have a question for you. How would you feel about somebody posting a Revelry reading vlog?
I wouldn't mind. Marta did that.
She did.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna press some buttons and we're gonna do
Thank you
the
for
chaos
having us.
outro. 'cause
Yes.
We're gonna jam to the song.
Until I wear the crown.
yes,
Yes.
my fave. I love to rock out to her.
Wear the crown. Darn.
So thank you to everyone for coming. I don't remember who's hosting next week, but someone will be having a stream next Thursday. Bye.
I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought